Hello and welcome to week 7 of our Empowered Women Circle. We are a wellness movement for women, and we are here to strengthen your body, elevate your mind, and nurture your soul. We are so glad to have you with us for week 7. We're doing a 12-week series to begin with. We're an ongoing women's circle, and we are sinking into week 7 of that 12 initial week series. Welcome to our circle. I have to say, if you have any concerns about your health, definitely see your own healthcare provider. And a reminder to visit our homepage if you haven't yet done this. I've noticed that many people are coming on board and lots of people are now watching the videos. You may not have seen the other videos, but we are on week 7. So if you haven't seen them before, go back and see them. We also have a homepage which has the 4 steps, which helps you to know who we are, how to engage with us, what we're aligned with, and how we can all support each other. So go back and do those. We are an inclusive group. We extend acceptance, love, and support to anyone who shows up in their power. We have a set of shared agreements that are listed on the homepage. We're happy to add to them, to augment them, to change them if you think that that would be important. We are a circle of support. But essentially what we are asking women to do, and what we are committing to do ourselves as wellness leaders, is to show up in our power, to take radical responsibility for our lives, and to really be there for ourselves first, and also for our family, our workplace, and for the other women in this circle. Last week, we had an incredible experience, both at the live event and during the recorded video, which you can go back and see if you haven't seen it yet. But you dug into what your inner yearnings, your soul's actualization needs. And we did an exercise on what do you most desire to experience, express, create, and contribute. And we spent a fair amount of time digging into that. So I expect or hope that at this point you are crystal clear about what you want to create or have in your life in the next 6 to 18 months. Very, very important at this point that we get crystal clear on what you are creating, what I am creating for my life, what the leaders are creating for their lives, but very specifically, what is it that you are ready to step into, that you want to up level, that you have the most energy around, that you want for your life in the not too distant future that we can help support you with. And as I started to explain, and this is our concept for the week for our soul, I started to explain that the important thing with creating or co-creating your life in the area of the feminine, and we talked all about masculine and feminine creation, is not so much getting out and setting the to-do list and doing the tasks and digging into the discipline. It really is about removing the barriers to receive what is coming into your life. So figuring out what you want to create and then digging deep into what has been stopping you until now. And that really is a process that's going on inside. And we said this last week, that once you are crystal clear about what you are trying to create, it is so obvious that you show up differently in all of your relationships and all of your dynamics, that what you are trying to create is already setting the conditions for it to come into your life. And we're not necessarily talking about the law of attraction or magic or any of that. We're really talking about who you are in your day-to-day. And what is it that has been creating that glass ceiling for you? What is it that you need to break free from in order to co-create in this area that you are now crystal clear about? What is your old story? What have you been trying to do, and how have you been getting stopped? And it's time to move out of victimization, to figure out how you're getting stopped, to realize you're an adult woman, you bring adult resources, and to step out of victimization and let go of who or what you are blaming, and to change your story of possibility, truly from the inside, so that how you show up and all of the relationships and all of the outpicturing in your life actually allows you to receive that which you are now crystal clear about. These are really difficult concepts, but I know that you're already taking steps forward, and I am here to help you. There are multiple resources available to dig deep into this work of creating your new story, of really truly co-creating your life and stepping into who you are intended to be and what is that very best version of yourself. So I'm here to support you. Reach out to me and I'm happy to do that. All of our wellness leaders have online contact information on our homepage and lots of extended resources in any area that you might be getting stuck. We're here for you. That's why we're in a circle. And I would guess as well, I'll mention at this point, that you have a lot of resources as well that you want to share with us. And so engage with us. Let us know what that is. And within our circle, I am absolutely confident that we have everything that we need in order to help each and every one of the women in this circle live their very best life. So back to the concept now. Who or what are you blaming? And I've asked you this question in previous videos. So I'm going to give you a couple examples to really dig into. This is very often what I see. Weight loss is possible for everyone. It really is. And I know that deep down you believe that. But it's more so possible for those who allow themselves the insight to know why they eat, when they eat that maybe they shouldn't, why they don't exercise, and who are they blaming. So why do you eat? When do you eat? Why don't you exercise? And who do you blame for the obstructions or challenges that get in the way as you try to set these plans in place? Notice I didn't say what you eat, and we're going to get to that with Marcia's segment. But what can you take radical responsibility for in your life around the area of weight loss, if in fact this is your area? And at our live event, we saw an example. One client of mine, Anita, stepped up and said she set as her intention to exercise every day. And when she put it in the forefront and realized that the obstacles getting in the way of her exercising every day were really within her own power and grasp, and she shifted her story. And we'll tell you more about that particular example very soon. But she shifted her story, and every aspect of her life came into clearer focus, and exercise continued to happen every day. And guess what? Weight loss also naturally began to happen, but it wasn't the primary focus for Anita. Anita's life became up-leveled in every aspect. And I know that she's happy to share that. So when you come to our circle and you engage with our women or see us on Facebook, there's lots of things that we can do to support each other and give each other examples about how we're doing this in our own lives. So what is your new story about your health? So now that you've sunk into who or what you're blaming, why you're not sticking to your program, what is your new story of possibility? What is your health going to look like now that you have removed those barriers to allow that to come into your life? And another example for you, deep marital intimacy is possible for mostly everyone. And I have to say mostly because there are situations where there are absolutely irreconcilable differences, or domestic violence, for example, or things going on in a relationship that really are extremely difficult to heal, or maybe in some cases should not be healed. And we can dialogue about that and determine what referral source might be available. But for most people, marital intimacy is absolutely possible. It's more possible, however, for those who have insight into what are your needs in the relationship. Why do you feel disconnected? What makes you happy? And who or what are you blaming for your unhappiness? Who or what are you blaming for the challenges and the obstructions to connection that you notice in your relationship with your spouse? And what can you take radical responsibility for? So we've all heard this. What percentage of your relationship are you responsible for? Just answer that in your mind. A lot of people will say 50%. Some people might say 49 or 51%. But in reality, you are responsible for 100% of your relationship. You are responsible for what you bring into that relationship. You are responsible for the person who shows up with your spouse every day in every interaction, in every communication. And so this is another example of really having that insight and determining what portions of that dynamic that are already set up are you willing to take responsibility for, and how can you show up differently? So what is your new story about your relationship? And that is really difficult stuff. So I want you to be still and listen inward and write or dialogue with a best friend, or dialogue with your spouse, or dialogue with one of the leaders in the women's circle, or dialogue with us in the women's circle, because I can guarantee you we are all facing many of the exact same challenges, obstructions, and old stories that we tell ourselves. We are here to provide that support. So write or dialogue about the truth of how you are being in these areas of your life, and in that area that you now have crystal clarity about. It's very exciting. Moving on now for your mind and your body. In a nutshell, don't skip meals, and protein 101. So let's get to April and Marcia's contribution for your calls to action. A healthy habit, says April, a healthy habit that benefits your physical, mental, and emotional health is not to skip meals. These habits improve overall well-being and help you feel great. One of these healthy habits is not skipping meals, and this doesn't mean set your alarm to eat every so many hours or looking at the clock necessarily. This simply means making a conscious effort to pay attention to our bodies. We want to be fueling our bodies with nutritious foods. Think about it. Your car cannot keep going if it runs out of gas, right? Or, for example, if you put the wrong kind of fuel in your gas tank. Make it a priority to put the fuel into your body and to give it what it needs. Focus on refueling every 3 to 4 hours with a healthy meal or a snack. By keeping your body fueled, you will notice improvements in your health. It will help you maintain a healthy weight, improve your mood, combat diseases, because of course it increases your immune system when your body gets the right nutrition, boosts your energy, and improves digestion. Our bodies are constantly using up the nutrients we put in them as we move and think throughout the day, and our digestive tract isn't any different. It needs the fuel to do its job properly. If you are struggling with your digestive health or your digestive system and you cannot get it balanced, April is happy to walk alongside your journey and help you get to the root cause. And you will find her contact information on our homepage if you want to ask April any more questions or come to our live event. And from Marcia, get your body moving. Her call to action is, well, she absolutely agrees with April, but she thinks skipping meals is almost always counterproductive when you're moving towards your health and wellness goals. And that's what we're all about here, is moving towards your health and wellness goals. So for the past 6 weeks, Marcia has talked to us about some things to add to our meals to prevent nutritional deficits. And we have encouraged everyone to get all of those nutrients by eating more vegetables and staying hydrated. But now she's shifting the focus to protein, which is another nutrient that's very often deficient. So in her nutrition program, Marcia stresses the importance of protein. It's vital to maintain a healthy body and to feel good. Without an adequate protein intake, our bodies can't function well. Protein helps replace worn out cells, transports substances throughout the body, aids in growth and repair. She also wants you to know that consuming protein can increase levels of the hormone glucagon, and glucagon can help to control body fat. So who doesn't want that? The basic recommendation for protein intake is 0.8 grams per kilogram or 0.36 grams per pound. This means a person weighing 150 pounds or 68 kilograms would consume about 54 grams of protein in a day. So let's shift that over to an average sedentary woman would need 46 grams of protein a day. And I say to you, we are not sedentary women, and we want to have healthy, vibrant bodies. So Marcia says, this recommended allowance is only to prevent a deficiency. It's what you need to survive, but not to thrive. So Marcia recommends at least double that amount. So I've given you a number, 90 grams, but you can figure out your own calculation. The first step to improving protein intake in your day is to get more protein at breakfast. And breakfast is one of the most commonly skipped meals. So let's combine April's tips with Marcia's and get your day off right by eating some protein, preferably about 20 to 30 grams of protein in the morning, and some veggies. And don't forget your water. We're really building on our health targets now. Marcia cooks a lot of egg whites with veggies in the morning, and she loves a specific egg muffin recipe that we're going to post for you. It's quick protein and veggies and can basically be made in bulk and frozen. Oh my gosh, Marcia, that's fantastic, because that's exactly what I need in my house. Pop them out of the freezer and put them in the microwave. Another tip, if you're really short on time in the morning and looking for a quick way to get your protein, Marcia recommends a quick protein shake made with protein powder and a liquid of your choice, like water, almond milk, whatever liquid you like in the morning. There are many types of proteins on the market that are great, and if you'd like more information on the type that may be best for you, contact Marcia, come to our wellness event, find out more on our homepage. But a few good ones that we can recommend are the ID Life family of proteins. So they come in vanilla, chocolate, and vegan. Now I make up the slides here, and I put this on the slide because I wanted to remind us that, of course, our kids need protein too. They need the same amount per kilogram or per pound. You can calculate what they need. And very, very, very often kids are not getting the amount of protein that they need, and then therefore they're kind of fading in the day. They're not learning as much as they should. They're eating according to cravings. They're eating food that's easily accessible that isn't necessarily packed with protein. And so my recommendation as a mom of 3 busy kids is to get them that protein first thing in the morning. And we make a smoothie every single morning in our home. And well, unless the kids decide they want eggs, and we share it with the kids. So the kids don't get a huge one. I think that would fill them up too much. They get a little one to go with their breakfast, but they get jam-packed protein in that shake in the morning. And I feel great about having given it to them first thing in the day. So I wanted to make sure we mentioned the kids and didn't forget about that. But of course, ID Life has an incredible health and wellness line. Their vegan shake is one of the best I have ever had. And of course, their cold filtered whey isolate shakes have no casein, no soy. They're non-GMO, they're gluten-free. And for most people who may have an issue with lactose, they're actually they're lactose free too. And most of the time, people who have an issue with lactose can actually tolerate and love and enjoy the chocolate and vanilla protein shakes from ID Life. But of course, the vegan shake may be better for some people too. So happy to tell you more about that. And I tend to try to go plant-based, and getting protein may be a bit more difficult for people who are plant-based. So within this circle, I would love to share resources about plant-based proteins. And I found this app for my phone, which gives you lots of great recipes. Of course, it asks you to purchase things once in a while, but in general, there's tons of free stuff on that app. And I'll also draw your attention to drstacycooper.com. You can find her link on our homepage as well. She has a fantastic cookbook available, and she can tell you more about that. I have her cookbook, and I've cooked out of it, and there's tons of amazing plant-based, protein-packed recipes in that cookbook too. So more about that. Remember to eat your veggies and make them full of color for all those antioxidants we talked about last week. Remember, dehydration is plaguing our nation, 75%. And if you're not remembering to drink your water, make sure you start drinking it again. It's going to make the world of difference for your health program. And if you haven't yet done your ID Life Health Assessment, we would love to help you out in that area. Avoid interactions with medications came to light for me this week because I remembered that the ID Life Health Assessment actually blocks nutrients that are unsafe to take with certain prescription medications. And so I just highlight that information. For example, if someone is on Coumadin, which thins their blood, and they're also taking glycosamine for their joint support, the interaction can be, in fact, life-threatening. So that's just one little interaction. And of course, your doctors don't have all of those little interactions memorized. So if you're taking any nutritional supplements, you want to be absolutely sure they're not interacting with your medications. And I had a situation this week where that was very prevalent, and I wanted to mention that fact for you. So Marcia's movement call to action. She wants to keep it pretty simple. What she's asking you to do is schedule 3 blocks of time this week for 15 to 30 minutes of exercise. So we've stepped it up to 3 times. This week, don't worry about what kind of movement you do. Just try to make a commitment to move 3 times this week and get this scheduled in advance to set apart from additional movement that you're doing in your day. And just move. This is really true self-care time that Marcia is asking us to get up to. So do all of this for yourself. We are here to help you. We are here to help each other. We are facing the exact same challenges of getting this Empowered Women's Circle into our lives as you are. And so come and chat with us. Come and share with us. Come and be with us. Really engaged. We want to be in this circle with you. And so the weekly content is really important. That's what we're all about. That's what we're sharing with you. There's a Facebook group called Empowered Women's Circle where lots of information is being posted there. And we want you to go over there and post an introduction. Let us know who you are and where you're from. The next live event is coming up, and details will come to your inbox once you're registered as part of our Empowered Women's Circle. You'll get information emailed to you. And we are hoping to exercise or socialize in the park, and that will also come to your inbox. And if you're not local to us, there are sister circles popping up all over the place, and I really want you to be involved with a local sister circle. So if you don't have one and you want to start one, just reach out, contact me, and I will set it all up for you. Make sure you're listed on our Global Leaders page. Make sure people can find you. Or maybe you just want to grab a few gal pals and watch our Zoom link when we do our next live event. Or grab a few gal pals and watch these weekly videos with them. Really lots of ways for you to continue to augment this circle that we have provided some structure for you in this circumstance. So until I see you again, let your light shine. So happy to have you in our circle, and I can't wait to get together.